So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today is Monday, July 6th, 2026, and we are kicking off your week with all those energetic, warm morning television show vibes you absolutely need. I am Professor Paulo.
And I am Professor Mariana. We are just so thrilled to be sitting here with you today.
We really are. And today, we're looking directly at your class notes for the English Conversations course. This is specifically for our incredible group T243. We see you, Noyan. We see you, Anna Paula.
Yes.
And really, we see all the wonderful students actively working their way through that CEFRL B1 level.
Absolutely. And, for anyone new who might be joining us, we are broadcasting straight from the heart of Academia BSB Cursos Inteligentes.
Right.
Our whole mission here is empowering adult women to learn English online. We use this really unique original methodology on our digital platform.
Yeah, which is super important.
It is, because we make sure that every single lesson connects directly to your daily reality as a Brazilian student.
Because learning English shouldn't feel like you're just memorizing a dry, ancient textbook.
Oh, totally.
It should feel like finding a new voice for the life you are already living right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the roadmap for today?
Well, it's a packed one. First, we are going to explore some essential vocabulary to help map out your daily routines.
Love that.
Then, we'll role-play some real-life language usage. After that, we're going to dive into the present simple grammar rules.
The fun stuff.
Exactly, the mechanics. Then we've got some customized feedback on your writing exercises. And finally, we'll practice speaking rhythms together.
It really is a packed schedule. But every single piece connects back to this idea of owning your time. So let's just jump right into that vocabulary from your current class.
Let's do it.
Because these aren't just words, they're like the architectural blueprint of your day.
Right, they set boundaries.
Exactly. Let's start with the times of day. We have morning, which is manhã in Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
Then midday, which is meio-dia. Afternoon, meaning tarde. Evening, translating to início da noite. And finally, midnight, which is meia-noite.
Now, I really want to pause on evening for a second because I see this all the time. This trips up so many Brazilian students.
Oh, complete.
Because in Portuguese, tarde can stretch pretty late, right? Basically until it gets fully dark.
Yeah, exactly.
But in English, evening is this very specific transitional window. It's culturally the bridge between your workday and your night.
Right, like maybe starting around 5 or 6 p.m.
Yes. So you might say something like, I work hard in the afternoon, but the evening is my time to relax.
Which is such a healthy boundary to set, by the way. Moving on to the adjectives in your notes, we have kind versus rude.
Kind being gentil or bondoso, and rude meaning rude or grosseiro.
Why are these specific words so crucial for talking about our routines?
Because, they describe how we interact with our environment, right? And there's a nuance here. Kind is much deeper than just being nice.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, being nice is just polite, but being kind is acting with genuine care. So you could say, it is important to be kind to yourself when you make a mistake, instead of being rude to your own progress.
I need to write that one down. That is beautiful. Okay, let's get into the action verbs. The notes get incredibly specific to the reality of female household dynamics here.
They really do.
We have standard verbs like to dance, which is dançar, to cook, meaning cozinhar, and to play, brincar or jogar. But then we get into the caretaking verbs.
The heavy lifting verbs.
Right, like to do a massage on your husband's feet.
Oh.
Fazer uma massagem nos pés do seu marido. And to clip your father's nails. Cortar as unhas do seu pai.
And this right here is why the Academia BSB methodology is different. We don't just teach the book is on the table.
No.
We teach the vocabulary of the mental load, because caretaking is a massive part of a woman's reality. When you learn to say, before midnight, I have to clip my father's nails, you are literally validating your actual lived experience in a new language.
Exactly. But thankfully, the notes also give us verbs for claiming our own space, too.
Yes, thank goodness.
We have to do your hair, arrumar o seu cabelo, and to paint your nails, pintar as unhas. Plus the standard chores, like to wash the dishes, lavar a louça.
Oh, and my absolute favorite one from this list, a truly empowering one, to fix electrical wires. Consertar fios eléctricos.
Yes, because, maybe you didn't wait for the repairman. You just learned to fix electrical wires safely.
Talk about autonomy. And as requested by the curriculum, we can actually add a few more verbs to this grammatical class that fit the theme. like to read, which is unler, and to sing, cantar.
And we also have the stress responses on the list, like to bite your nails, roar,
Yeah,
as unhas.
entirely.
Because let's be honest, trying to balance washing the dishes and all that caretaking with finding time to actually do your hair or read a book, it's super stressful.
It's incredibly stressful, but, when you expand your vocabulary, you gain the power to advocate for your free time.
Absolutely.
You can clearly state, in the afternoon I work, and in the evening, it is my time to read.
I love that. Okay, we need to take a very quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to tell you a hilarious story about why the word evening can be so dangerous.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
We're back!
Welcome back to the Deep Dive, everyone. So right before the break, we were talking about times of the day. Morning, midday, afternoon, evening, midnight.
And caretaking vocabulary.
Right, exactly. But we have to talk about how tricky that specific word, evening, can be in actual practice.
No, it really can be.
Looking at the class notes here, there's this totally classic story about a student, Beatrice, during a live platform interaction.
This is a B1 rite of passage, honestly.
It really is. So right at 12 p.m., right at the absolute peak of the day, Beatrice logged onto the camera, smiled so enthusiastically, and greeted her teacher with, "Good evening."
She was just ready to call it a day before she even had lunch.
I mean, honestly, relatable, but the teacher had to pull up a screen share and gently explain that at 12 p.m., you are squarely at midday. Evening is tucked way, way away at the end of the day.
But this happens all the time when you're translating on the fly. You panic, you grab a time of day word, and suddenly you are sending everyone to bed at noon.
Exactly. And it's a great reminder that we can't just memorize vocabulary lists in a vacuum.
Right.
We have to know how to use these words in real, messy human interactions. Which brings us perfectly to the language usage section of your notes.
Yes, the connecting phrases. Today we have 3 target phrases that are absolute lifesavers for negotiating your routine.
Let's hear them.
First up is, it's your turn, which translates to a asaz. This is your ultimate boundary setting phrase. You use this to firmly but politely pass responsibility to someone else.
It's very factual.
Exactly, it removes the guilt. It's your turn. Next we have, if you gotta do, you gotta do.
I use this one all the time.
It's very colloquial. It basically means, se tem que fazer, tem que fazer. It captures that feeling of accepting a chore you really, really don't want to do, but you know it's necessary to keep the house running.
Right.
And finally, the pronouns. By myself, meaning sozinha or sozinho when referring to yourself, and by himself, meaning sozinho for a male subject.
And those carry so much psychological weight, don't they?
Oh, totally. Doing something by myself implies you handled the entire burden without any help.
Okay, let's actually put this into a real-world context for everyone listening.
Let's do it.
Imagine we are a couple negotiating the evening chores after a super long Monday. Let's see how these phrases function as tools. I'll start.
Okay, go for it.
I'm so exhausted I had to fix electrical wires all afternoon. Can you wash the dishes tonight?
Oh, no. I cooked a huge meal and washed the dishes entirely by myself yesterday. Tonight, it's your turn.
Ooh. Well, if you got to do, you got to do.
Yeah.
But I am definitely going to listen to a podcast while I do it.
Notice how the language did all the heavy lifting there. I didn't have to get angry or emotional. I just deployed by myself to establish what I already contributed, and it's your turn to establish the boundary.
It's brilliant. It really is. But, knowing the phrases is only one part of the puzzle. Now we have to look under the hood at the actual engine that makes those sentences run. We are talking about grammar, specifically the present simple.
The present simple is literally the bedrock of your English communication.
It really is.
You need it for sending a professional work email, managing your private life, succeeding in academic contexts. It is how you talk about facts, habits, and daily routines.
Right. And in your Academia BSB notes, there is a core principle called the Pareto rule.
Yes, the famous Pareto rule.
It dictates that for the third person singular, he, she, or it, in an affirmative sentence, you must always add an S to the verb.
Right.
So I say I work, but for my husband, I say he works. I play, but she plays.
Yes, it's a very small sound, but grammatically speaking, it is absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay, but I have to push back here on behalf of every single student listening right now.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Because when we move to negative and interrogative sentences, the notes introduce the swimming pool rule.
Right, right.
Which means we have to bring in the auxiliary verbs do and does. So instead of saying she not dances, we say she doesn't dance.
Correct.
Wait, She doesn't dance. What happened to the S on dance?
Ah.
The Pareto rule just told me I had to put it there. If the does auxiliary is just going to wash the S away anyway, why does English even bother having the S in the first place? It feels like a trap just to trip us up.
I mean, that is such a valid frustration. I hear this all the time, but it really helps to understand the why behind it.
Okay, lay it on me.
Historically, Old English used to have complicated endings for every single person, much like Portuguese does today with its conjugation.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But over hundreds of years, English just got lazy. It dropped almost all of those endings. The S on the third person singular is just the last survivor. It's a tiny signal flag, letting the listener know, hey, we are talking about someone else right now.
Okay, so it's basically a historical leftover.
Exactly.
But how does the swimming pool rule actually work mechanically?
Well, think of it like this. When the auxiliary verb jumps into the sentence, it's like a swimming pool. It washes the S right off the main verb. The main verb goes back to its base form.
Okay, so is the auxiliary verb does kind of like a heavy-duty kitchen appliance?
A kitchen appliance.
Yeah, like imagine you making a cake, right?
Okay.
The main verb is you, stirring the heavy batter by hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard work, you're sweating, you're carrying that heavy S.
Right.
But then you plug in the electric stand mixer. That mixer is the auxiliary does it. Steps in, does all the grammatical heavy lifting for the negative and question sentences, and allows you, the main verb, to just relax in your base form. Does that make sense?
That is the perfect analogy,
Mm-hmm.
yes. The auxiliary handles the mechanics, so the main verb doesn't have to.
Awesome.
So look at an affirmative sentence. She cooks every night. The main verb carries the S. Now, let's go negative. She doesn't cook every night.
The stand mixer is plugged in?
Exactly. The main verb relaxes. No S interrogative. Does she cook every night? Same thing. The mixer is doing the work.
When you explain it like that, it isn't arbitrary at all. It's highly mechanical.
Very mechanical.
And applying that mechanism properly is what makes you sound polished. Which leads us perfectly into the writing section of the notes, because writing is where you force your brain to consciously operate that machinery.
Absolutely. So Group T243 had a writing exercise titled, Who Are You? And the whole objective was to help students describe their personal routines.
Let's analyze Anna Paula's routine first. She is 51 years old, usually works as a school secretary, but she's currently on vacation in Brazil.
Yes, resting at her uncle's house. Her initial draft was very clear. But the Teacher's Enhanced Insights challenge you to really elevate the text. We want to see connectors like then, after that, and finally.
Why are those specific connector words so important?
Well, because without them, your routine just reads like a robotic grocery list, you know? I wake up, I eat, I go. Connectors are the mortar between the bricks. They give the reader's brain a micro-pause to process the timeline.
That makes total sense.
Mm.
Let's apply today's vocabulary and those connectors to Anna Paula's reality. You propose something like, my name is Anna Paula. I am 51 years old, and usually I work as a school secretary. However, right now, I am on vacation in Brazil.
Beautiful start.
In the morning, I love to sleep in. Then, I usually cook a late breakfast. After that, in the afternoon, I spend time with my kind uncle. Finally, in the evening, I just relax. I don't wash the dishes because I am on holiday.
I love that for her. And you can physically hear how after that bridges the morning and the afternoon. Now let's look at Nguyen. She has an incredibly demanding routine. She works at Montreal Visions. She is literally building staircases at her house.
Which is amazing.
And she's married to Everton, who is a public servant in education.
A true powerhouse. So for Nguyen, customizing her response with those connectors and vocabulary, we could say, my name is Nguyen. During the day, I work at Montreal Visions. Then when I get home, I help build staircases in my house.
So cool.
After that, in the evening, my husband Everton and I cook dinner together. He is a public servant and very kind. Finally, before midnight, I like to paint my nails and relax.
By applying words like midnight to cook and to paint my nails alongside those connectors, it stops being a rigid grammar exercise.
Really.
It becomes this vivid, vibrant story of a real woman's life.
But, writing it is only half the battle. You have to be able to speak it confidently.
Yes, you do.
Let's look at Section 10, speaking. Because speaking English isn't just reciting words from a page. It's a physical act.
It's all about rhythm and pacing. English is a stress-timed language. You don't pronounce every single letter with equal weight like you often do in Portuguese.
Right.
You have to find the melody. You're swallowing some sounds and linking others together.
To help you shadow this at home, we are going to read the text provided in your notes about Daniel's family weekend. But we aren't just going to blast straight through it.
No.
We're going to pause and analyze the mechanics of the rhythm as we go. I'll read the first half.
Go ahead.
Last Saturday, Daniel visited his parents and several relatives for a family lunch. Wait, let's pause there. Notice how I didn't say visit-ed with a heavy robotic E. I swallowed the E. Visit-e.
Exactly. You just made the D sound. Let's continue. His sister had recently got married, so everyone wanted to celebrate. Notice there, had recently. I didn't stop between the words. I linked the D in had directly to the R in recently. Had recently.
That linking is what creates fluency. Okay, back to the text. During the meal, Daniel's uncle told funny stories while his younger brother showed everyone a popular meme on his phone. Again, I didn't say show ED, I said showed.
Right. Their grandfather had a serious poker face most of the time, but suddenly everyone saw him laugh loudly. Let's pause again. Laugh loudly. 2 L's right next to each other.
All right.
You don't say them twice, you just hold the L sound slightly longer. Laugh loudly.
Brilliant. Okay, finishing it out. After lunch, Daniel paid for some cakes from a local bakery and bought a small snack for the journey home. Before leaving, his mother nudged him and reminded him to call more often because the whole family missed him.
Miss T. The ED at the end of missed actually sounds like a T. Listeners, rewind this section. Play it back and read aloud with us.
Yes, shadow us.
Match that pacing, swallow those vowels, and link those consonants. That is exactly how you build your speaking confidence.
And speaking of confidence, we really need to take a moment to look at the performance of Group T243 as a whole.
Oh, absolutely.
Noyan, Anna Paula, and everyone else putting in the hours, the way you are navigating these auxiliary verbs, pushing through the speaking exercises, and expanding your vocabulary, it's just phenomenal.
It truly is. You are doing the hard daily work. And it proves that you are squarely on the right path to achieving your CEFRL B1 certification.
You really are. You should be incredibly proud.
Yes.
And as you know, at Academia BSB, doing the work doesn't just get you verbal praise, it gets you gamification points.
This is such a fantastic feature of the digital platform. I love it.
Me too. Every time you complete an activity, whether that's during class, off class, or as homework, you earn points. We call them stars, or in Portuguese, estrelinhas.
And these stars are attached directly to your user profile. As you gather them, you physically move up the student rank ladder.
Yeah.
It allows you to compete in a super fun and healthy way to see who is the most active learner.
And it comes with real rewards. With enough points, you enter monthly giveaways for school products. We're talking books, pencil cases, mugs, t-shirts.
You can even use your accumulated esterlinas to actually pay for your courses or other products.
Which is amazing. It transforms the grind of studying into a highly rewarding, gamified journey.
It really does.
So, it is time for the big reveal. The stars won today for our featured student interaction is, drumroll please, 18. 18 Estrelinas. Congratulations. That is a massive achievement. You earned every single one of those stars. Keep crushing those routines.
Truly well-deserved. It takes deep consistency to build those points, just like it takes consistency to master a language.
It does. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to pull back and look at the big picture.
Okay.
In 1925, Virginia Woolf wrote a novel called Mrs. Dalloway. It is considered an absolute masterpiece of international literature. But what is fascinating about it is the plot.
Right.
It doesn't span years. It doesn't span decades. The entire novel tracks just a single day in the life of an independent woman organizing her routine in London. Woolf took the seemingly mundane tasks of a woman's morning and elevated them into this profound, epic narrative.
She used the routine to explore agency and memory and freedom. She showed us that the quote-unquote mundane is actually where our entire lives happen.
Which brings us right back to you, the Brazilian women listening to this today. You are balancing your jobs, your staircases, your families, your studies.
Yes.
You are the protagonists of your own stories. But you are doing something even more incredible. You are claiming your routine in a completely new language.
So as you step back into your day, we want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over.
Think deeply about this.
How does the language you choose to describe your daily routine actually change the way you physically experience your day?
I mean, does calling a task a chore make it feel heavy, while calling it fixing the wires by myself make you feel powerful?
The words you use literally frame your reality. If you have the vocabulary to set a boundary, you have the power to protect your time.
You absolutely do. Remember that chaotic morning marathon we talked about? Once you apply the right words, the right grammar mechanics, and the right rhythm, It isn't chaos anymore. It is your life, perfectly articulated.
So true.
Thank you so much for joining us. Keep earning those stars and keep setting those boundaries. As we always say here at Academia BSB, it's not only about the language, it's all about communication.
Have a beautiful, empowered day, everyone.